Hey guys, and welcome back to episode 99 of the Glory Hunter career mode. It's the last episode before we reach treble digits in this career mode, and it could well be the penultimate episode of the series. We return today with our final 6 games in the Premier League as we look to hold off Liverpool and pick up our second Premier League title of the career mode. We will also play Bristol City at Wembley in the FA Cup semi-final as we look to reach the final of that competition, with it being the last trophy that we have to lift to complete the Glory Hunter challenge. So lots to get into again today. Of course, the biggest game is going to be that FA Cup semi-final, but this title race has been so intense the whole season. We're still unbeaten in the Premier League. Can we close out these final 6 games? If we win all 6 of them, we will be Premier League champions, and we will become only the second team in history to do it without losing. So we start here today with Unai Emery's Aston Villa visiting us here at the City Ground. I mentioned at the end of the last episode that 5 of our final 6 are actually here in Nottingham, so that may potentially give us an edge with home advantage. We are very good at home, but obviously we've not lost at all in the league. And the crazy thing about the unbeaten run is it actually stems into the whole of domestic football in England. Of course, we've already won the Carabao Cup. We're into the FA Cup semi-final, so we could go the entire domestic season without actually losing a game, which would be absolutely incredible. We'd be the first team to do that, and we would one-up Arsenal's Invincible season. And the closest I believe anyone's actually got to that, at least in modern history, is Manchester City in, I think, the 17-18 season, when they only lost 2 games in the league. They won the Carabao Cup, but they actually lost in the FA Cup to Wigan Athletic that year in like the last 16 or something. So I think they lost 3 games in the domestic season. We are on to go the whole campaign without losing. Sulemana down the left looking to stop us from doing that. Oh, what a goal by Aston Villa. Sulemana the provider. And I'm not sure who it is who finishes it in the middle, but that is a wonderful strike to give Aston Villa the lead. Johnson, corner, swung in. Adeyemi! Forest back on level terms. That is a brilliant headed goal by Karim Adeyemi. Gets us back on level terms, and that's why I wasn't panicking. Here we come again. Kefren into Karim. Heavy touch. Looks to go round Slanina. And the American comes out well. We really should have taken better advantage of that opportunity. Good ball out wide to Crepin Diatta. Up against Pau Torres. Pegs it back brilliantly. Strike comes in. It's off the upright. And Aston Villa so close to finding another goal to put them into the lead for the second time. And Villa, who have hung on well in this game, feeling they can go on and find the winner as Liverpool go 3-1 up. Pau Torres clears and Chilwell picks out Nelson. It's got to be now if we're to find a winner. Brennan into Nelson. Now Joseph. Liverpool in the lead, so we need to find that goal. Kefren on the run. Great ball through. Kefren waits for Karim, and we found our goal late on. The title is still in our hands at Nottingham Forest. That is a massive goal with Liverpool 3-1 up away at the King Power. It would have seen them head to the top of the Premier League, but Karim Adeyemi at the double surely wins it for Nottingham Forest. Huge goal, and that should do it. There's the whistle. 1 down, 5 to go for Nottingham Forest. Liverpool not going anywhere, but we do just about get the victory late on as Emery's side are defeated. Well, we're back at Wembley here for the FA Cup semi-final. Realistically, with all the big games we've had this year, this is the biggest so far. A place in the final at stake, and of course that FA Cup trophy is the last one we need to complete the set and finish this Glory Hunter career mode, winning all 14 trophies that we set out for at the beginning of the save all those months ago. It's been a long old graft, but we're getting to the climax now. Bristol City is David versus Goliath. What a ball that is. Is Kareem onside? He is. Kefren. Oh, it would have been a perfect start. What a ball over the top by Brian, and Kareem just couldn't quite get it down. We are the massive favourites for this one. It really is David versus Goliath. But here come Bristol City. And just like that, they take the lead, and David gets the first knockout blow to Goliath. Looking for Brennan. Brennan looking to respond and gets it all wrong. That miss won't stop the captain from getting into those positions. Looks to find Joseph. And now it's back to Brennan Johnson, and again his effort is off target, getting into good positions, but are finishing once again off the mark. Torres gets in a bit of a muddle, and the Bristol City man races through, and were it not for Esteban, Bristol City themselves would have had 1 foot in the final. Big save to keep it at 1-0. And as we expected, Bristol City happy just to sit in and invite the pressure. But the problem with that is we've got great players who can work their way into the penalty area, but Joseph denied. Big half-time team talk coming up for myself, as I need to G up the boys for the second half. Joseph's on his bike and Brennan's with him. Can Brennan get away? Towler is sticking with him, but Brennan comes infield. Brennan Johnson scores at Wembley again. This is worth another look. The defender does well to stick with him, but Brennan stops, then chops inside, and on his weaker left peg bends it into that far corner beautifully. Keeper at full stretch can't get there, and Forest back on level terms. And now Brian can fizz it into Kefren. Brennan back to Kefren. Kareem on the run. Brilliant build up. Joseph in the middle. And Nottingham Forest lead. We've completed the turnaround. It's a quick fire double from Nottingham Forest. And it's our main man, Joseph Leahy, who gets the goal. Lovely build up. The pass from Kefren is inch perfect. And Kareem just has to fizz it across the face into Joseph to tap home. And Bristol City have collapsed in the first 15 minutes of this second half. Bristol City looking for their first attack of the game. They created opportunities in the first half, and they're looking to do so here. Brilliantly worked, and Bristol City equalise. It's Tagawa again. And out of nothing, the Championship side have pegged us back at Wembley. Not even challenging at the top of the Championship. They're sat in mid-table, can't reach the playoffs, very, very little to play for. And here they are, living the FA Cup dream. Joseph. Oh, brilliant little turn of pace. Joseph! I'm sorry, Bristol City, but we need to win this competition. And Joseph Leahy is leading us to the final, past the dive of the keeper. Just as Bristol City get back into it, hats off to them. They've been brilliant today. And there is the whistle. Hats off to Bristol City. It's a brilliant performance, and their fans will have nothing but pride for their team. What a display from the Championship side. But it's undefeated Nottingham Forest, who reach our second domestic cup final of the year, thanks to goals from the captain Brennan Johnson and Joseph Leahy. So the stage is set for the FA Cup final. It will be Nottingham Forest against Fulham at Wembley on the 17th of May. Now that game actually annoyingly falls way before the end of the season. We've got 2 more league games to play after the FA Cup. So what I'm going to do is play the final 5 games in this episode, and we will save the FA Cup for, of course, the final episode. it will be episode 100. Of course, we need to win that FA Cup, but I'm confident we can do it against a struggling Fulham side. So even though it's played before the end of the season, we will close out the Premier League campaign today and come back with the FA Cup final in the next one. So we now have to turn our attention back to the Premier League, where Liverpool have already played and won, meaning they jump above us again in the Premier League. We face Brighton at the City ground. A point will be enough to take us back to the top on goal difference, but a win will see us reclaim our 2-point lead. So let's get into it. Brighton and Hove Albion at the City ground to return to top spot. So pressure back on as we take on Brighton, but they're having a poor season. Looking to continue our good run of form and pick up another 3 points to return to the top of the league. Chilwell doesn't quite get that through and Brighton survive. Evan Ferguson still at Brighton. They've not sold him for 120 million yet. And Ciso out to Kone. Still Kone. Ball inside, and what a save that is by Mendes at the near post. Brighton looking to spoil the party, and we have quite often fallen behind in games this season. Chilwell flicks away the header at the near post, and it's Brennan Johnson to bring it away. Now into Joseph Leahy, up against Silas, who's no slouch. Leahy inside. Brilliant strike, and it's just wide of the post. Good football this from Brighton. And Enciso's onside there. And Ciso opens the scoring for Brighton. And as I mentioned earlier, we do quite often fall behind. It's Julio Enciso, the Paraguayan, who gives struggling Brighton a much needed lead. Romero, strong tackle. Still Romero. Driving into the space. Leahy into Adeyemi. Dink to the back stick for Romero, who'd come forward after winning the ball and scores just his second goal of the campaign. Brilliant from the central defender. Saw the opportunity to step forward and gets on the end of Kareem's cross to the back stick to level it up. And Ciso runs into Kefren, who somehow manages to keep the ball. Taylor. Brennan on the move. Brennan Johnson, brilliant run, and Brennan bends it home and gives Forest the lead for the first time today. We've been the better side. We've had most of the attacks, and finally we grab the lead as well. Brennan with Joseph on the run. Joseph to seal it. Rounds the keeper and gets taken out for a penalty. It was a lovely piece of skill to win the spot kick, and Joseph Leahy will step up himself and absolutely rifles it into that top corner to secure the victory for Nottingham Forest. We will be returning to top spot, and Liverpool will still remain 2 points behind us. So returning here with our last away day in the Premier League this season. Our final 3 will all be played at home, and Liverpool once again have played before us. They beat Aston Villa by 1-0 at Anfield and jumped back up to top spot. But their final 3 games are Newcastle away at St James's, Manchester United away at Old Trafford, and Arsenal at home at Anfield. So they definitely have the tougher of the final fixtures. I think that it is ours to lose. Of course, we know that 4 wins will do it for us, but I see Liverpool slipping up at least once in their final 3. So Norwich currently sat just above the relegation zone, but probably already safe, and we're looking to get off to a flyer here with Diaz. Couldn't quite get the lift on it to take it over the top of the keeper. Not really a lot for Norwich to play for, whereas for us, everything on the line. And we've started as we mean to go on here. Ball up the right end of the pitch. Adeyemi, oh, it's so unlucky. Well, no goal yet. And Norwich have done well to weather that early storm. Adam Ida looks for the 1-2 and Romero reads it. Now Kefren can bring it away. Has Kareem in space out wide. Great opportunity this. Joseph in support. It's a wicked ball and it's going to drop in off the defender. It's an unfortunate own goal from Norwich. We will take it. Brilliant save initially by the keeper, and it cannons back off the defender who falls over the keeper and lands in the side netting. So unfortunate for the defender, off his thigh, and just loops up into the net. We will take it. It's an own goal. There's no way Joseph is claiming that. 33 for the year for Joseph, but I don't know how he's got away with that one. The dubious goal panel might have a look at that. Taylor into Brennan. Joseph on the run, looking to add to his goal already. Joseph! It's brilliant. And this one will definitely be his. This time he gets the chip correct. And that might just be enough to send us back to the top of the Premier League. Brennan slides him through. First touch takes him a little bit wide and it just drops in. Good football by Norwich. Looking to get one back here. Still 10 to play. And it's played into the middle and they do have one back. Norwich not done yet. They half the deficit and our clean sheet is gone. And that should do it. The referee's whistle should go. And does. And we just about hold on to the victory. Were Liverpool able to match our result away at St James's Park? They were 1 up at the break. Did they manage to see it out? They did. It's a 2-1 victory. Brilliant result for them because that is a tough fixture. And again, the gap remains at 2. Not going anywhere, Liverpool. I say the gap remains at 2, but actually I forget Liverpool have played a game more than us. So the gap remains at 1 behind Liverpool. But of course, this is our game in hand against West Ham, who are in the European places. So it will not be an easy game. If we win it, we return to the top of the table with our 2-point lead. And that will be with just 2 games to go. It's the Hammers at the City Ground to return to the top of the league. Of course, we really struggled against West Ham at the London Stadium with Mike Maignan being the hero on that day. I think if my memory serves me correctly, we did end up picking up the 3 points. But Magic Mike was superb in that one. Here's Kefren Turam and right on cue. What a save from the West Ham United captain. Corner, a chance for Pau Torres to get up there. It's into Pau, who gets his head on it. And Mike turns it away. We said in the last one we'd love a Pau Torres goal. We're getting closer. Ball in. Leahy, and again, Magic Mike. We're only 10 minutes in. He's made 4 or 5 brilliant stops. Corners deeper this time to Kefren. Good ball into Harvey Elliott, who was pulling the strings at the London Stadium. Away from Christian Romero, and Cuellar is in support. Still Cuellar. Tucked back to Elliott. And West Ham lead after not leaving their half for the opening 25 minutes. It's like West Ham of real life, parking the bus and hitting teams on the counter. And with Mike in goal, that makes me a little bit nervous. Normally I feel relaxed if we go a goal down, especially this early on in the game, as I always feel we can get back into things. Here's Leahy. Brilliant. Adeyemi levels it up. Right on cue, and it's a brilliant goal. The flick from Joseph, and Kareem gets us back on level terms. Brennan, oh, it's perfect. Brennan Johnson away from Mike, and the Rabona into the back of the net. I kind of fucked it up initially, but West Ham have capitulated, and Brennan Johnson with the Rabona goal past Mike. And we've gone from not being able to score past him to taking the piss. Chilwell down the line to Diaz. Now Taylor. Gives it away. And Elliott into a little pocket of space. Perez, Elliott, Andre Silva. Lovely build-up. Can Mendes get there? He can't. And West Ham equalise. Emil Smith-Rowe. It's a crazy first half at the City Ground. And just as we thought we'd restored our lead going into the break, West Ham fight back. Kefren loses out. Dangerous position. Andre Silva lays it off. Chance, and what a tackle by Christian Romero. That is as good as a goal, that from Romero. Now we look to break. Brennan, nice bit of skill. Kefren looks for Romero. Oh my word, Romero's on fucking crack. What is he doing? Christian Romero, that is outrageous. It will be 2 apiece here at the City ground. And West Ham stop us from restoring that 2-point lead. We will go top on goal difference, but there's still so much to play for as we enter the final 2 games of the Premier League season. Well, guys, Liverpool have done it again. They've played before us and they've put the pressure on us as they've gone to Old Trafford and beaten Manchester United by 1-0. I said, having to go to St James's and Old Trafford, I thought they would drop points, but they've come out of both of those games with victories. The pressure now swings back to us as we host Leicester, knowing that only a win will take us back to the top of the Premier League table. So here we are then. We know where we stand. If we fail to win today, the title is probably gone. With Liverpool facing Arsenal, who have had a really tough season, sat in 16th place at the moment on the final day. Having just won those 2 games away at St James's and Old Trafford, you'd expect them to beat Arsenal at home. Joseph, chance, goal! What a start! And Joseph Leahy does it again. And Nottingham Forest, pressure, what pressure? As it stands, we head back to the top of the Premier League table on goal difference. It's going to come down to the final day if we win here and we make the perfect start. We were keeping clean sheets for fun at the start of the campaign, but they have dried up recently. That's a brilliant ball by Joseph. And Adeyemi goes back to him and Joseph's just died. He's collided with the woodwork and that has probably killed him. Taylor knocks it into Kefren as we look for that second. And Brennan away from the defender. Brennan Johnson in behind. Brennan, it's 2. A massive goal just before the break. And that should see it go down to the final day. We will return top on goal difference. And all we have to do is beat Fulham on the final day, regardless of Liverpool's result. Torres drilled into Taylor. Would love a 3rd goal just to see this game out. Joseph, brilliant. Brennan, it's 3. Lovely build up, and there is the dagger from Brennan Johnson, seals the victory. No chance Leicester get back into it now. All over the top for Kluivert to run onto. He's onside here. Kluivert pegs it back and Lopez does pull one back for Leicester. Well, despite that goal for Leicester City, it will be Nottingham Forest picking up the victory and returning to the top of the Premier League. It will go down to the final day. It's in our hands, beat Fulham, and we are Premier League champions. So here is the lie of the land before the curtain comes down on another Premier League season. We have returned to top spot. Our goal difference is significantly better than Liverpool's. Know that a win will seal it and we just have to match Liverpool's result. So if they draw, a draw will also do it for us. But we want to win. I fancy Liverpool to win as well, having only lost twice this year. It's the final game of the Premier League season with the title on the line. So here we are in the sunshine in Nottingham at the City ground. We know that a victory will do it for us today against Fulham to be crowned Premier League champions. We're all set for the curtain closing on this Premier League season. And it will either be Nottingham Forest or Liverpool that lift the trophy come the end of the 90 minutes. Gives the ball away to Willock, and Fulham, already relegated, looking to spoil the party. Goal update, an Arsenal lead at Anfield. Fulham looking to do the same here. Hold the phone for a minute and we survive. Back to Luis Diaz. Colombian down this left-hand side into Brennan Johnson. And Karim Adeyemi at the back stick. What a goal. Party time in Nottingham. And Nottingham Forest are set to win the Premier League for the first time in the club's history. Brilliant ball into the middle by Brennan. And Karim with his 20th of the season. The fans are in full voice. Ball into Pat Vimmer, into Caio Jorge. Rodriguez, brilliant save by Esteban Mendes to deny Fulham's equaliser. Varela swings the corner in. It's a good ball. It's going to fall and, well, they've made a bit of a meal of that. Diaz into Johnson. Great effort and a brilliant save as we look for our second here. Karim swings the corner in. Pau Torres, oh, it would have just been written in the stars for Pau Torres to score in the final league game of the save. Well, we didn't receive the notification, but Liverpool have equalised at Anfield, so back to 1-1. I'd expect them to go on and win the game from there now that they're back into it. So we really need a second goal just to make sure of this title. And still, we remain at only 1-0. Brian pings it out to Diaz. Brilliant ball. Taylor round the corner. Brennan. Brilliant. Joseph's in the middle and the defender stands up really well. Plays it across. It's Brennan Johnson and it's a brilliant save again. Corner swung in. Looking for Pau Torres who gets up. And again he's denied. The Fulham keeper's on a mad one here. Brennan with the corner. Away before Torres can get a touch. Taylor keeps it alive. Johnson onside. Romero at the back stick. There's our goal. Title done. It's not Pau Torres. It's his centre-back partner, Christian Romero, who gets it. And the Argentine World Cup winner is going to be adding a Premier League to his winner's medal collection. Gets up at the back stick. Back across goal. And this time there's no chance for the keeper. It's 2, it's game over, and it's title over. Well, I've got no idea what the scoreline is at Anfield. Not received any goal updates. That doesn't mean that there hasn't been any though, but it's not going to matter as Nottingham Forest win on the final day and secure victory, which means that Nottingham Forest will be Premier League champions for the first time in the club's history. The roar rings around the City ground. There's the Premier League trophy. We've of course won it already with blue ribbons when we were at Chelsea. But what a season for Forest, a historic season as we win the Premier League unbeaten. It's an invincible season for Nottingham Forest as Brennan Johnson lifts the Premier League for Nottingham Forest. I mean, it really is something special. I don't know if I, in my lifetime, will ever see it again in the Premier League. An invincible season, but Nottingham Forest have done it. What a campaign to end the series off. Did Liverpool win? We will find out together if we can get there. Did Liverpool win? They did, so it came down to goal difference. What a way to do it. A crazy Premier League season. But both teams finish on 96, but it was not enough for Liverpool. We are unbeaten with 0 losses in the league, and we could go the whole domestic season without losing if we lift the FA Cup, which will come in the next episode. It's been a fantastic season for Nottingham Forest, one of my favourite in the entire save, and we will be back in the next episode to close out the campaign with the FA Cup final against the same opponents, Fulham, as we look to win a domestic treble and complete the Glory Hunter challenge. I'll catch you in the next episode very soon, guys, and peace.